This place is scary. Like, I should not be here. I really shouldn't be here. I'm sorry, I just will. No, you know what? People are actually demanding medication. I don't want medication. I just want to discuss that I'm actually okay, and do you know what? Where I live, the criminals are not doing this to my property. When they've tried to jump my chains to come to my property, I've told them, go back, don't come into my property. These are people who are demanding attention, medical attention. They know what they need. They're here knowing what they need. I don't need attention like that. I actually want to check if the doctor is in the office because I've spoken with the nurse, asked them to check the emails. Okay, I asked another one to check, so she's just come out from this. So let me just check if they... Because at some point there were 3 women there. I've been warned already that this is a very dangerous ward. I wasn't warned directly when I was being put in this place. Okay, apparently there is a doctor. One of the patients just tried to button up her dress and she refused, so I'm just gonna have to wait. Gosh, that was actually terrifying. The trend right now is seeming like they want me to only be attended to by Asian doctors. I don't know, we'll see. Or Asian people, we'll see. Maybe that's not relevant, I don't know, we'll see. I remember when I was much younger, we used to play sports against another children's team where they used to come from a disabilities home. Those kids were brilliant at sports, but they were so intimidating. I was so glad I was not in a first or second team in that sport. It was netball. The kids were smooth, deaf and dumb, but smooth. You couldn't touch them. They were pros at that early age, less than 12 years old. They were pros. Pros, I'm telling you. But you needed to stay out of their way. And there was no need for violence, but then, they did have that sort of incapability of communicating. If they got angry, they could punch you or slap you on the field. I've just been reminded by this view. Because I just thought, if I was here for a sports game or something, that would be better. I think the aggression and the violence here just reminded me of that. I'm not good at intimidation. I'm not doing none of that. I really shouldn't be here. So I think people have come down now because the doctor's here.
Are you sure?
I know there's a plot to get me killed in a place like this, so I have to protect myself. I'm not going to put this in the face of vulnerable people. That would be good. But I have to protect myself. I can't be given medication for situations like this. It's impossible. I'm better off out there, minding my own business. I wasn't here to whistleblow. In fact, I shouldn't be here at all. This is like normal to them. No, this is not right. This is seriously not right. Even the brief experience I had with mental health patients when I was a student nurse, one person jumped at me when it was quiet, trying to tear my face and my hair up when I was doing a ward round check, 15-minute checks. I was like, nope, not doing this ever again. I'll be patient until there's calmer situations. I worked with the learning disabilities team, and they used to protect me. The staff did. They never used to let me out when the other people were violent. I don't know, it just used to work out. They knew how to deal with the really violent ones. They would have at least staff to do the one-on-ones with the ones that needed more attention. Plus, I also used to do night shifts more than do day shifts. This is so not right. Yeah, I really shouldn't be here.
I checked the email, but there is no email regarding. Sorry.
That's the doctor note, okay? Is that the doctor for the day?
I will ask her. Yeah.
I guess I have to introduce myself anyway.
Sorry, I have location, but I will come to the one in the afternoon. What's your name? Caroline. Caroline. Caroline, I will come to the place in the afternoon, and then I can talk to you and
It's just, I know an update on the appeal and stuff.
I'll find out.
I was thinking about my rent and stuff. My co-owned company is after the rent and
What
stuff.
I will do is I don't want it to be a rushed conversation, but I'll come in the afternoon.
I don't mind it being a rush conversation. I just need an
Someone is
update.
waiting for me, but
Because-
for the tribunal, no, Diana, don't do that. But I will find out you want for the appeal update,
Yeah,
and
because
I'll
I'm
come
held
back.
up like you're being asked about finances. The core company is on my case, wanting an update. I need to be
I
paying
have to
them.
look into your notes, and then I'll come back and let you know.
And I've already said I
If
missed
you
two
need
appointments
before
on the
that,
day they want me
if
in
you
here.
need an urgent update, please ask the nursing staff.
I did. They just say that there's no emails on there. The doctor yesterday said she was going to send me an email to indicate the house been renting things, but I co-own the property, so I don't want to lose my property while I'm just sitting in here. I
Try
shouldn't
to
be
find,
here.
I will try to find out. Come back to you.
What do you want is specific. What do you want is
Close the door.
I'm sorry, your doctor. Sorry, doctor. What's your name so that I know who to call?
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Three.
Doctor, what's your name so I know who
Excuse
to
me.
ask?
Okay. Excuse me. Diana, this way. This way, Diana.
Let her go.
Gosh, at the end I couldn't even get the doctor's name. She says she's going to be here in the afternoon. Doctors here don't always come the time that they say they're going to come. The ones that said they're going to give me letters yesterday, they haven't given me letters. I can't just be here for nothing. Like, even yesterday they discussed my property. But you're saying I can give you a letter for housing, and I just realized in that moment, tell that doctor that I co-own the property, the people who are demanding the money. So I don't want to lose my property. I'm trying to link the dots here. I was brought in, eventually admitted by someone who says she's a social worker who's studying mental health. So social housing. When I was dealing with the repairs and the solicitors who deal with like claiming back money for where like you're not having, oh gosh, that was actually scary. Oh God. Oh my God. This is not making sense. This is not making sense. I shouldn't be here competing for attention from doctors, where I should just be making money to pay for my property, to fund my way. Instead, I'm here trying to negotiate for my life. This is where it's very, very, to actually end up saying I can deal with the criminals out there because I can lock my doors. These guys are demanding their medication. I just, In the end, I was starting to look like something's going on because I was trying to just ask the doctor for her name. But because she was closing the door on another patient, she said she's going to look at the notes. But I just thought, let me try and get her name because yesterday, the doctor who I saw, tall, slim lady with her colleague, who was a bit shorter than her, a male, with hair up to his neck. Her hair was tied back, both Caucasian, but the male sounded European. I didn't get their names. And so all I could do was ask, will the doctor be coming back? I asked so many times until eventually I just kept quiet. And that's how someone can be stuck in a place like this for 28 days. But when you appeal within the week, when you're not supposed to be there, you're not supposed to be here. That's all. And you have to do it promptly. They have not responded to anything. They have not put emails on. They've not even written the letters. The letters are supposed to be apparently to help me explain that I'm here. But it's not taking into account that the payments have to be made. You can't just say she was here the whole time. To then go out there and start disputing why my property's been taken away from me. I'm not a social housing tenant. I'm a private homeowner. So it will be very complicated and it will be very expensive to start to look for lawyers to stand in that situation. It will be very, very difficult and expensive. I shouldn't be expected to get into a lawsuit situation with the mental health services where I'm not supposed to be here because I've then lost my property. But because the criminals behind this know about situations like this and they planned this to be happening. Dang. These people are demanding their medication. It was such a scary situation. The doctor was only there for a few minutes, giggling. She said she has to go back and read the notes. I only managed at least to just say something. Because goodness, had I not actually been there to see the doctor. This one today I was wearing a long brown dress. Asian doctor, she's gonna see the notes. I really shouldn't even be here for the rest of the day. You can't actually go through something like this and then be told, okay, so say this situation was very, very intimidating and scary. You can't then sit with a psychiatrist while being kept in this place where people will easily kick off because they know their needs. They know that their medication calms them down or whatever. Can't then just sit down with me and say, I'm going to offer you anti-stress medication to deal with this. It doesn't make sense. I shouldn't be here. I'm not the kind of person who should be in here for things like this. Granted, the criminals are admitting they're the reasons why I've not been able to get back into the NHS. So I've been pursuing other avenues. I've been managing my finances, however difficult that is. I can't follow up on the leads that I have while I'm in here. It's like you're under arrest. They attend with officers under warranty to promise you that you're not getting out of this situation. So it's not a matter of they assess you and then decide, okay, we're not sectioning you. So far from these experiences, they've just shown me that it's a way of getting into your property so that they hustle you out of your property. I don't know if they covered all the boxes, but I think I have to look into what does this mean? Like where people are raising concern and lying that they own the property. Neighbors shouldn't just be allowed to speak about you. Because God, the good thing is, even in a court of law, you can represent yourself. Because apparently people already know that it can be difficult for me to acquire a lawyer because of the money situation. And people know that my husband is far away. So they're taking advantage. I'm not alone in England. I have friends that I talk to. Excuse me. But only I can stand up for myself the way that I do. So, unfortunately, if I'm not released, I think it's going to get to that. When I started nursing, I was very thorough. I wanted to be able to practice and leave practice unscathed. I wasn't a go with the flow sort of nurse. I got a first class, and I think it came in handy with one of the last situations I had with a woman who professed that she was a nurse. In my training as a general practice nurse, we did come across that when we were studying our modules with City University. We used to have group discussions where some of my colleagues who were more senior would present case studies of where they've met patients who were nurses in other nations, even in Europe. They have different acceptable practices. In this country, we don't use things like anesthesia to apply immunization, even on children. But a certain woman had. And then she had marked the area. In the UK, the area she had marked was below the deltoid. So I went to the very top of where she had marked in order to not have a conflict with her. The woman was already upset, having had come late. It seems she was part of the plan, was just looking for a fight because she had been outside standing there for a very long time. I went outside looking for the patient, even spoke with her. She was standing with her husband holding the child. I asked them, do you have an appointment? I'm looking for a patient that I'm supposed to be caring for. And she just looked at me and said, like, shoot me off. I asked, have you already been there? Have you already checked your appointment? Something like, yeah. I thought, okay. I went to the admin desk. I asked, you know, when you go in as a bank staff or agency staff, you have to take extra precaution because they're paying you extra. You have to be very diligent on top of it. Ask the admin staff, I'm looking for this patient. Have they been registered? Are they there yet? Because I have not seen them anywhere. And there was, I think, only 2 other people in the waiting area. They said they were not the people. So I checked again with admin. I said, none of these patients are saying that they're there. So I went back into the office, carried on with what I was doing, and just waited. Then the woman comes in with her husband. Her temper is already all the way up there. Try to be cordial. Oh, before she came in, actually, the admin came and said, have you seen to this patient? This lady's been waiting a long time. After I've done my due diligence of checking. So when she came in, I was very pleasant and cordial. Oh, I hear you've been here a long time, but I came outside and tried to talk to you. Anyway, let's see how baby's doing. I just try to be pleasant. Her attitude skyrocketed 0 to 100. Actually, it wasn't 0 already. It was already above 50. She was already ready for commotion. She was ready. I think she'd come for it. Or maybe she was already distressed. My baby's going to be crying or whatever. Maybe. Let's say she's innocent. Maybe. Let's say she's innocent and she was just afraid for the baby. You've got a clinician who's now taking control and trying to help you with the situation. This woman, after we'd given the babies the medication, I actually showed her because she said, I've put EMLA. She made sure she was drawing the area. I've put EMLA, and there was a big round circle she drew on the skin of the child. If you're a nurse, you know you're already doing your baby harm by putting ink on your child's skin. I can flag you up for social services. But I didn't flag her up for social services because I was trying to assess the whole situation to see what's actually happening here. And how do we know it's EMLA you've smeared on this child and then you draw a circle on the child? Have you plotted something so that you can sue the surgery? Because sometimes, as business owners, you have to be careful. Some people are hungry. They're looking for a way to get money. So I was wondering, what's going on here? I've been out there. I've checked. I'm the only nurse in the surgery. You can't miss me. You can't miss this chocolate skin. I'm the only person in the surgery attending to children and adults' immunizations. And I've welcomed you, tried to speak to you nicely. I saw you outside. I came and spoke with you. I've just been told you've been waiting there a long time and I'm so sorry for your wait. But I thought I checked with you earlier. Anyway, never mind. Baby's here now. So what do we do? She was so rude. So actually, in hindsight, maybe it was not being worried for her child. Because sometimes people can be scammers. Someone can use their child, honestly, they can use their child to their advantage. When I was in Romford before Christmas, when my phone was being intercepted and I couldn't use the internet and I had to be out on public Wi-Fi services, I took a break. I was sitting in the Liberty, between the Rituals shop and New Look shop. There's a bench there. Someone came pretending to be on the phone. She said she's an assassin. She was sent by Zubir Francis and Kamchira Ineta to tell me that they're going to be attacking any of my affiliates with sexual health diseases. And they're still going to be trying to kill me. And she said she would have come for me at my home address because she was going to be attending Zubir's garden. I went to the manager immediately, the manager of the mall. I went and he was like, if she was saying a death threat, you'll have to go to the police. So what had happened when she said we're still going to be trying to kill you and we're coming to your area, we're going to be there in the garden. I got my phone out to record her. And soon as I was raising my phone up to record her, a Caucasian man came up with a crying child. Security just stopped them right there, right on the bench. She was walking away. They came and sat right there to disrupt the recording. And the guy said, I've just punched my child to opt in to cover this up. The security was so diligent. It looked like they had been tracking that man. It looked like they had been tracking that man. The whole situation was a cover-up. That man confessed. Later on, I saw him around 10 p.m. He punched his child to cover up that assassin's threat towards me. She had curly hair, not as long as mine, but curly hair, coiled, sort of braiding, with a few blonde streaks in the back. She was wearing brown boots. CCTV laws would make that footage, that archive footage available even after years. A brown African girl, possibly Zimbabwean, from the accent. But then our African accents are quite diluted now. Most people sound Bantu anyway. We can all do each other's accents, so it could be from anywhere, but given the name that she mentioned, Gamshira Neta, she's a sexual health nurse who has access to the NHS database and is sending around women with sexual health diseases to spread them. And she has confessed that she tried to make me a prostitute. She tested me, tested my response, and realized I was not a candidate. So now they'll be trying to attack my friends and potential affiliates, because that's how she gets ahead, sleeping with people randomly. But she's not in the profession of prostituting the way that others are taken care of or licensed, the ones that get sexual health checkups often, because she herself has AIDS and gonorrhea apparently, and she'll gladly pass it on without disclosing. Much like the criminals next door, who themselves gave one of the new recruits, the one they're grooming, gonorrhea, and when he tried to run away, they got him a car to keep him quiet. It's not his car. Perhaps they silenced him that, you know what, you won't have to walk around in the area. Because with some cultures, they're so conservative, they can kill. Even here in England. And then they'll cover it up for each other. And the person would have just disappeared. I am not in such communities. But I have been told that sometimes they mistake me for being part of them. And so perhaps that's how Zubia Francis has been getting away with saying that I'm his wife. What a disgusting proposition. I've heard that because he was assigned to assassinate me, he thinks when he's tired of plotting and planning, or when he's disagreeing with his co-criminals in Flatford Oak House, I'd rather marry her, keep her alive for a bit until I'm assigned again, and then I'll kill her. So can you imagine someone's ambition, ultimate ambition anyway, is to kill me? Marrying me would just be, I don't know, a brief cover-up for his criminal activity, to stop the police looking into him, to stop the rest of the community looking into him, which is totally absurd anyway. I don't know why the communities around have not seen through him. I'm already with someone else who, by the way, he got kidnapped using the airwaves. Once he was on his way here to England to come and meet me, they got him kidnapped. It's taken months. We still haven't met in person. We just speak on the phone. But while he was in that kidnapping situation, we were intentional enough to realize this is a very important relationship for us. So we vowed to each other that yes, we will cherish each other, we will love and cherish each other forever as husband and wife. Mr. Pedro Chetam, my Jean Robert. Never mind about how we're going through our relationship, it's ours. The Human Rights Act of 1998 says I have every right to pursue relationships how I want to. I have every right. I'm an adult. There's no need to micromanage me to that level. Mental health nurses have convinced previous partners not to engage with me. Does that make sense? Nurses are historically known to steal each other's men. When you're continuously on night shifts, you might be surprised that your friend from work is camping in your flat or in your house with your man. Apparently, it's actually a thing. Not just among Zimbabweans, apparently. But that's where I know the stories from. So Helen Mashunganyika went after Charakupa, Jonathan Charakupa. In hindsight, I hear he had already acquired gonorrhea. He was already sleeping around. So from what I hear from that live audience, I was well within my right to expect just a deal from that marriage. At the time, I thought, well, I guess that's all I can get from it. And I had decided I will be blameless considering the situation. I will not be the one that breaks it up. And so when he started telling me about threesomes, I thought, oh, wow. It wasn't really like alarm bells, but it was just like confirmation that, oh, my days, this is not good. I was waking up around 1 a.m. and hearing them talk about how back then I was saying an over recording because I was thinking, this is affecting me. The way they've connected this audience now is too much. And apparently they had already been saying that they had raised my head voice. That is to say, they have used technology to enhance and to make my thoughts available to other people. So, when you're quiet, you can be in a thought process, in sort of a discussion with yourself, brainstorming about life. They've done it so that if I come up with opportunities or solutions, they steal them before I get them executed. Because as a minister, as a singer, sometimes I get very, very good ideas. Heavenly ideas, perfect ideas. I just take my time with how I'm going to get them done. But they've been doing it so that when they hear my ideas, when they expose my ideas, then other people take those opportunities. Zubia apparently did this even in hacking people and luring them from the community which I used to serve through Forward in Faith Ministries, so that they can feel like they are better prophets and Christians, so that when they take the opportunities, they seem like they have the heavenly opportunities. Because having stepped down from stage and pursued relationships, these criminals intimidated or distracted a partner of mine to make it seem as if I was having one-night stands. And I didn't know that when I conversed with some of the people online for like online dating, they were going around and communicating with them and then presenting other women immediately so that I would never see the people again. So I stopped. I started taking my time with relationships. And these other people started being quite judgmental, I suppose, of how I was getting into relationships. But on the other hand, they were also encouraging other young women to pursue relationships in that way. I would try to encourage my partner to say a little prayer when they're coming to me or coming or leaving me. But that was a private progression into relationships because during this season, it's a very difficult time. There's a whole sex self season, but it's a whole Me Too season too. Sexual encounters are very tricky areas right now. The whole sexual health disease situation. Goodness, I hope it doesn't become a pandemic, but in my area it is because of this criminal gang. And it seems they all try to come and roost in Romford, or maybe it's just that the audience is connecting in Romford. But it certainly seems to be quite a catchment area. You'd think it's just the property side that's attracting people. But it's not just the property side. Romford is becoming really, really popular. At some stage, as a homeowner, you will want to rent out your house or maybe pursue the next step, the next level, so to speak. I certainly would. But tricky things have happened. When I was trying to sell my house, I was actually offered a job as a photographer. My contacts were disabled. I couldn't reach out to that photographer anymore. I could have been traveling with a man. It's just that when he told me that sort of job it is, I think it's almost like the PR situation I once worked in, but I was in the accounting side because you have to be available even like overnight because it sounded like he does extra work with celebrities and that. So I'd have to be ready to be taking photography of notable people, I suppose. But working overnight. So while I was taking time to think about it, at some point, that database I was uploading with people's communication, with those personal communications, it got hacked, it got blocked, I couldn't access it. And then I tried again to reach out to them so that I sell the property again. By then, time had lapsed. And I couldn't really do it because now I needed 12 months pay slips. And I had just gone over. It's a pity if you get hacked and you can't access information, even if they restore the information back on. Apparently that's the stuff that's supposed to make it seem as if you're paranoid. Fortunately for me, these criminals, I was set in front of a Barclays customer service lady once, and I started going onto my phone to look for an email that I had sent to their fraud team to look into. What happened is they blanked my screen out to delete the email. By the time I got into the email, it wasn't available anymore. At least it happened while I was sitting right in front of the person. Never mind the whole enhancing my senses so that more people get access to me. I was sitting right in front of the person. Some people now don't pretend about what's happened to me. They acknowledge I'm still human, I'm not AI, I'm just really, really attacked. And some people go to the stage of acknowledging that it's sort of a modern slavery attack. Or just admitting that it's a modern slavery attack. Just a second. Oh, hello.
Hi, I have not met you. My name is Florida. I'm the occupational therapist here. And you are?
Caroline Carush.
Oh, nice to meet you, Caroline. In 5 minutes, we will be in the activity room. Would you like to join in any activities?
Activities?
Yeah, we have an activity room. We do activities like we have coloring, self-care, computers that we can use, music. Today we will do a nail group, but you can do anything else if you would like to join. We have books that you can read, puzzles.
Maybe I'll check out the books. What time is this open to?
In 5 minutes, because I need to call. We need to call everyone.
Where is the activities room?
Do you want me to show you?
Sure. I'm expecting to see the doctor though.
Okay. After you see the doctor, if you are here.
I will go to my and there was promotion to the area. It was really scary.
So this is here, but I'm located in 5 minutes, okay?
So like everybody's coming there.
Yeah, not everybody is going to come, not everybody. Maybe 5 people, maybe 6, maybe 1.
Temple's really good and but I'm not sure how to go.
Okay, yeah. You can take a book and if you want, you can borrow it in your room. Put it in your room and when you finish, you can read that, okay? Hi, Karen. How are you? Are you going out?
So you're working together. Yeah, I've got some stuff that I've been working on my phone. So if I don't make it,
Yeah, it's up to you, Caroline. Thank you.
yeah, I'm entertaining myself. So
Andrew?
I just saw the room. I just got a flashback of being locked up in another place. As much as I'm interested in reading and stuff, I don't know. It was scary. I'm gonna conclude this for now.